There's a new and pretty easy way that you can register to be an organ donor. You can do it all from just using your phone, actually, via Corewell. Joining us here in studio to talk about this evening is Michelle Reiser, Director of Platforms and Applications at Corewell Health, and Tracy Gary, who is an organ donation recipient. Guys, thanks so much for being here to talk about this. Michelle, I'll start with you. Typically when people think of registering to be an organ donor, you think going to the Secretary of State's office here in Michigan. This, you can just be sitting on your couch and become a donor, which really is incredible. This is relatively new, but walk us through a little bit about how this works for folks.
Yeah, so back in October, we launched this. All you need to do is log into your Corewell Health MyChart account, scroll to the Health Summary tab, and at the very bottom, there's a link. And when you sign up through that link, there's just a few steps that you need to take. And what that does is it puts you on the National Donate Life Organ Registry. So what that means is your organ donor status actually travels with you no matter where you are.
And we were just talking about this in the commercial because I registered in a different state, so I'm probably not on the national registry. So I'm gonna go through the app this evening and make sure to fix that. Tracy, you are a heart recipient of a heart organ donation. I know we could probably talk about this forever, but can you tell us a little bit about your journey of receiving an organ donation?
I had started off down in Kalamazoo at Borges. I had a widowmaker. And after my widowmaker, I had 2 previous heart attacks, and I had a stroke. And then I got referred up here to Corewell. So after I was up here at Corewell for a year and a half, I got my my heart transplant, and everything has been wonderful.
Yeah, I can only imagine, what your life has looked like since receiving that heart.
I've witnessed 4 children being born, grandchildren being born. I married my wife.
Oh.
My wife's an organ recipient also.
Yeah.
And together we started a nonprofit called Transplant House West Michigan.
Yes, which we've covered here with our Matt Guard. And I mean, we're talking about the new technology here that's available. From your standpoint, anyone who's hearing this and hearing about, how easy it is to become a donor, what's your, word to them just about how important this is?
Do it because you can't use it after you die.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many people there's 100,000 people on the transplant list this year. I mean, it's a gift that can keep on giving.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can save 8 people by organs and over 75 people by bone and tissue.
Yeah, it can really be so impactful. Thank you for sharing those details about your story. Michelle, I know that a lot of people have already taken advantage of this technology here in our community, but you guys are continuing to spread the word, so there can be more, beautiful stories like Tracy's. Can you tell me just a little bit more about the impact this has had so far?
Absolutely. So since launching, there have been more than 2,700 people in our communities that have registered to be a donor through our MyChart. So just shows that generosity and that community mindedness we have. So if you haven't, spread the word and make sure you sign up, and it puts you on that national registry.
Absolutely. Tracy, to hear about how easy this is for folks, I know typically a trip to the Secretary of State's office isn't always what everyone wants to have on their to-do list, but making this so much easier, from your perspective, what kind of impact, it's already having an impact.
But exactly. I mean, 2,700 more people in 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And people only go to the Secretary of State every 4 years.
Yeah.
And people are in their MyChart or on their phone all the time. So it's so easily right there in your fingertips now.
Absolutely. And Michelle, I know that folks can kind of choose as well kind of how, they would want their donation to work. Can you walk us through that just a little bit?
Absolutely. So in this process, you have total control of, do you want to be a donor to someone like Tracy, or do you want to also donate your organs and tissues for research purposes or medical training? So you can choose one or either or both of them.
Absolutely. And I know, too, this whole process can make, it's not what we all want to think about all the time, but it can make, if you were involved in a medical emergency, it can make that process of making sure your organs get to someone like in Tracy's situation in an easier fashion.
Yes, absolutely. By being on that national registry, your status travels with you. So unlike folks that register state by state, unfortunately, if you're out of state when something happens, that state might not check Michigan, for example.
And that's something that I learned tonight that I'm going to get right on. Tracy, anything else you would want to share just about your journey? I mean, you've led such a full, wonderful life after your transplant. I know you obviously also have the transplant house right here in our community. Tell us just a little bit more about how, wide-reaching something like this can be.
You can help so many people. I got to witness 4 of my grandchildren being born, married my wife. I've helped, the transplant house has helped over 60 people. We saved 200 people last year, $262,000
wow.
in savings just from lodging and cooking Our house is a kitty corner from Family Fair.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just everything is. It's such a selfless act that can pay it forward for so long.
Absolutely. And last time before I let you guys go, this is really easy, just logging on to your MyChart account. Can you walk folks through the steps just one more time for doing this?
Absolutely. So log into your Corewell Health MyChart. In the menu, there's a health summary tab. If you click that tab, scroll to the very bottom, and there's a link to sign up to be on the Oregon Registry.
And it's easy as that. Guys, thank you so much for being in here and
Thank
talking
you.
about this. Hopefully we can encourage more people to join the list, so I so appreciate it.
Yes.
We are going to take a